Hello, everybody. This is Joseph King Atiyia. Welcome back. This is a podcast that speaks about being a great man. What it means first to be a man, because we have a lot of males who can shave, but they're not men. And I used to be one of them, and I'm still working to be a better person because that's what great men do. So this podcast teaches you, for our single parents, how to raise great men, not just males, but men, and then the next one, which I call great man. All right. Being a great man is a lifetime journey, so nobody's there. It's a journey that you keep learning and growing. And if you have not seen the first episode, please go ahead and check it out. This is the second episode, and I want to focus on, we're talking about how to become a great man. Who is a great man? All right. So today I want to speak about a few things. A great man is someone who makes a choice not to be poor. Poverty, poor. All right. Now, those of you who know me, I speak many languages. So if you don't hear my accent for some reason, just stick around. You'll get used to me. I promise you. That's what great men do. All right. Anyway, so a great man is a person that makes a choice not to be poor. Now, some people, when you talk about poverty, or most people refer to money, which is true. But poverty is not just money. Poverty is a state of mind. Think about it. Poverty is not just money. Poverty is a state of mind. It's a mindset. It's a spirit. So I spoke about being a great man, you need to be spiritual. All right, because understand life is spiritual, and the physical life is just like a result of what's happening in the spiritual realm. All right, so being a great man, you need to understand that poverty is a mindset and refuse poverty. Let's talk about finance, because there's different kinds of poverty. There's spiritual poverty, financial poverty, emotional, all the leads, academic, and all the leads. You call it, name it, it's fine. But I just want to focus on about the mindset. Poverty is a mindset. You will realize that poor people act a certain way, and usually poor people want to act rich. I don't know how they do it, but they do it. They pretend very good. All right. And yet rich people don't act, rich people often act poor. All right. In terms of like appearance, so maybe they go to a store, they don't really buy, expensive things. They go and shop at Goodwill and things like that. Now, I'm not saying that's always the case. I'm just trying to show you how people are different. But then wealthy people are very different. They make money work for them, and they have time. So here's a simple triangle that I want you to understand. There's money. Think of it like a triangle. There's money, there's time, and there's knowledge. Money, time, knowledge. If you want money, you need knowledge and you need time. If you want time in life, you need money and you need knowledge. If you want knowledge, you need money and you need time. Does that make sense? So just think of it like, I wish I had a board to explain it. So you have time, you have knowledge, you have money. If you need one of each, you need to sacrifice the two to get that. You need more money, you need to go to school, knowledge, and time to go to school and study and get money. And knowledge, by the way, it's not just school. That's one of the problems. People think to be educated means you went to college or you got your master's, you got your PhD. That's one form of education. Education is not school system. Education is learning. You don't just learn at school. There's apprenticeship. There's different ways of learning. All right. But then when you discover who you were born to be, your purpose in life, you start studying things that you were born to be, you become better at it. You become a professional, you make it a career, all right? So great men are people who do not like to be poor, because there's nothing good in poverty. There's no respect. When you have no money, for example, in this case, speaking about poverty as money, people won't respect you. Believe me, they will not respect you. There are places where you don't need to speak. Just bring money. And money gives options. Even the Bible for Christians, the Bible is not against money. The Bible is not against money. Money is not evil. It's the heart, the roots of, when your heart is money, 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 money. But money itself is not evil. All right. So there are things you need to learn about your finances. Man, if you are a man, you want to be a great man and you are broke. By the way, there's no great man who's broke. You can't be great and be broke. I made a choice in my life. I will never be poor because I'm from a poor background. I know what poverty financially can do. So I started doing what many people don't do. People rush to look for money, whereas money has a way it works. All right. So there are things you need to learn, things you need to relearn about money. Again, I'm just focusing on poverty being money, being mindset, being a spiritual state. All right. So there are things you need to learn, relearn, and unlearn about money. You need to understand how money works. I have a brother that trades. He got a trading company, but life had to teach us the hard way when my dad, my dad is a missionary. He used to be a missionary. We used to travel a lot, and then he was sponsored by a company here in America. And then all of a sudden his contract was done. And believe me, after 2 months, life has changed completely. That's when we sat down, me and my brother, we said, we need to understand money. And believe me, that year changed our family life. You need to understand principles of money. Let me give an example. I have a lot, and when the book is out, please get the book because those are secrets that they don't teach at school. Have you noticed school is a system, right? They don't teach you about real money. They don't teach you how to make money. All right. That's why a lot of people with degrees are working with people who never went to school because, nobody talks about these things. Anyways, have you realized that money does not sleep? Think about it. When you go to bed, money don't sleep. People are still making money. I'm not telling you to work night shift and do those kind of things. I'm just saying that you need to understand money does not sleep. So if you want to make money, if you want to be a great man, understand that what can I do while I'm sleeping to be productive financially? These are questions you got to get right. If you don't, you'll keep blaming people. And the problem is, especially with poor mentality people, once you're around them, you start doing better, they hate you. They will hate you because you are bringing them, you become like a vulnerable example. How come he's doing better? And they start hating you because it's a mindset. All right. Money follows values. The more valuable you become, the more money you get. Simple. These are things they don't teach you at school. What do you have? I asked you on the first episode, what do you have exactly that people can pay you any amount to get? You hear people complaining about everything. Well, this is not working. This is not working. Our country this, our government this. Well, let me tell you the truth. There's no government that's perfect. How can you have a perfect government while we as human beings, we're not perfect? Think about it. Why do we expect? You get what I'm saying? Get what I'm saying, not what I'm not trying to say. All right? We all not perfect. Why do we expect people to do things for us? While you're expecting people to do things for you, God is expecting you to start those companies that you got. You've been dreaming about this. Once you're starting, what's your excuse? Poverty is a bad thing. Financial poverty, money gives you options. You can sit here and say, well, I want to go to, I can't think of a country. I want to go to Indonesia, for example, on vacation. You do it. You don't need to pray for that. You can pray. I'm not saying you don't pray for that, but you pray not because you need money to go there. Those of you who are Christians, go on Google, write this down. How many times has Jesus spoke about money? You'll be shocked. More than in sermons about the gospel. You'll be shocked. Go Google it. You'll be shocked. You'll be shocked. So there's things you need to learn. How can you have money when you get insecure when people of money, rich or wealthy people, are speaking? You get offended when they start telling you the truth. Oh yeah, but that's just the money, that's just the stealing. No, 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 no. There's enough money for everybody on earth. This may sound shocking, but it's the honest truth. And the more you discover your purpose, the more your bracket changes. You see, money is also relationship. Most of the times, for example, I have people that if I have a problem, you know, one phone call, it's done. Now, those kind of people, you need to be careful because once you have a poverty mentality, they will run away from you. Think about, I don't know if you have some rich people, friends, they don't like people that come around them, kind of like using them. They don't. They don't. If they see you have no value, you bring in no value, adding no value to the businesses, you out. See, money follows value. Money follows relationships. I always tell the people in mentorship that if everything you have or everything you need, you must buy it in cash with money, then you are broke and you will suffer in life. There are things relationships give. Now, I'm not saying to use and abuse those people, no. But because of your credibility, because of your character, because of your friendship, because of your heart, you've built some relationships. That's why you hear people say, network is your net worth or something like that? You probably know what I'm saying, like the people that you surround yourself with. You surround yourself with people that compete with you. How are you going to get rich? It's important to get rich. I don't care what religion you believe in. You have to have money. I've seen people dying. I remember I was somewhere in one country. I'm not going to call the name. I was speaking in a conference. It was in a hospital speaking to orphans, kids. And literally, I heard someone crying out loud. I asked, what's going on? They said her mom died because they did not have money to pay for the medication. I said, how much was it? They said $50. Believe me, my heart was broken. I couldn't speak anymore. I started crying. Imagine $50. So poverty, you need to learn. How often do you read books about money? When last did you, look at someone who is very rich and buy the book? Or we just criticize them. How would you get money if you keep criticizing people that have money? See that? Money follows principles. You sow, you reap. There are many thousands of principles. For Christians, go and check your Bible. Principles about money. Sometimes people read the Bible with misunderstanding, without the Holy Spirit, without maturity. They just think word per word. No. God is actually telling you to crack the code. A lot of principles. If you need some principles about money, just inbox. Send your email inbox. You'll be shocked. You cannot be a great man and be broke. Because, you see, when you are broke, your job controls you. They control you. Anybody that pays you control you. Remember the triangle I said, time, knowledge, and money. Now, I'm not telling you to quit your job without understanding your purpose yet, because you may suffer to pay your next bill. All right. And I will speak about that next. The difference between work and a job. So you need money. You need money. Money follows environment. Now, environment is not just your geographical environment. Environment is the books you read, the kind of TV shows you watch, the podcasts you listen to, even the food you eat, because you got to be healthy to make money. And the sports you play. I can't tell you how many people I've met going down to the golf place and play golf. Now, I'm not a great person who play golf. No, but I just go there and chill and just, just speak to people. And that's a skill on its own, to be able to just speak to people. They don't teach it at school. You got to learn it. I learned that if I have to start a business now, mind you, I've been in many countries as a missionary child. I can literally go on the street and start a business if it's not illegal or anything. And I do not care what you think of me. As long as I make the money, I move. You see, you cannot be a great man and keep worrying, what would they say? Oh, what about this? Trying to please people. Are those people you're trying to please paying your bills? How would you take care of your son, your children, if you have no money? How would you take care of your mom if you have no money? Money gives respect. Learn how money works. Make money. Understand how money works. By the way, money has a language. Money speaks. These are now deeper things. Money speaks. Money is a language, international language. You need to learn how to speak. Let me give you an example. You are flying. Some of you don't want to fly, first class. You say, well, I'm going to waste money. But you don't know who you could meet on that just one flight. That will change your life forever. You see, you got to take risk sometimes. Why do they sell a bottle of water different places in different environments? Because in different environments, you meet different people that changes your life forever. But you need to be ready for that. You need to prepare your mind. Money speaks. Money speaks respect. Learn how to make money. You want to be a great man, understand how money works. Learn, relearn, and keep learning, unlearning. Money follows gift. That's what I said. Discover yourself. Your gift, the Bible says your gift will make rooms for you. Do you know what that means? If you read in different version, it says your gift will make rooms for you before great man. Everything I'm saying, you have a problem, just email or comment. I'll send you all these things. That means your gift introduces you to upper people, like, value and well-known people, kings and presidents. But you keep neglecting your gift. Let me give you an example. You could be, instead of getting a loan to go to college, you have a skill of just taking pictures. First, take it serious. Understand, have a goal, have a vision. Take it serious. Do you think the people that take pictures, for example, to presidents, like here in the U.S., like right now, Mr. Donald Trump, do you think people that take pictures of him, they get paid cheap money? No way. No. Do you think people that take, like NBA pictures or whatever, football, American football, no way. Because they worked hard at it, and keep working, because you are what you do in secret when nobody's watching. That's really who you are. Don't rush the process. You'll be crushed. If you rush, you'll be crushed. Work hard in such a way that if I get the opportunity, this is it. And even if you fail 100 times, you never know. On the 111th one, it will change your life forever and you will forget. In fact, the good thing about failing is this. If you got 100 tries, if you fail 95 times or 98 times, once you make it those two, nobody talks about those 95 or 98 that you failed. Nobody talks about it. Only you know. See that? So, great men understand they need money. You're not worshiping money, but you need, in fact, think of it this way. If you have a good heart, don't you think you need money to do more good to people? I want to bless people. I want to, I want to help orphans. I want to help people who can't pay school fees, but I want to teach them the purpose first and then go to school and study those things. I always say it. If you do not have money, don't go to school on loans. Learn your skill first. Understand what you're born to do. Understand who you're born to be. And then go there at it as a career. That's where you go to work. You are happy. You love what you're doing. Many times people ask me, I work Monday to Monday, but it doesn't feel like work because I love what I do. Make money. Understand how money works. Understand money gives value. The Bible speaks about it. Money gives respect. If you're a man, you need to have money. And you need to use money for a good cause. Don't not to abuse people, not to make people feel a certain way, but to help people. You cannot help people if you are financially limited because you won't have your time. So I was saying, I'm going to end with this. You need to understand the difference between your work and your job. Let me make it easy. A lot of people think your job is your work. Again, don't quit yet. Let me explain. A lot of people think your job is your work. When God created the first man on planet Earth, he gave him work. Work is to do what you were born to do. God did not give Adam a job. Job pays bills. Work is your purpose. To take dominion, you got to work. And now, what is your work? Discovering what you were born to do. Discovering who you were born to be. And usually it's through your gift, something that you love doing. But the problem now is people go through systems to accumulate all the debt, college and everything, and then just to see them keeping a job. Worse of it, keeping a job to people who never went to school. I mean, I'm not saying going to school is bad, but I'm saying if you're going to study your purpose. If not, manifest your courage. Work at it. I remember back in college, in music school, I studied jazz. I used to spend 3 days that I do not sleep. Literally 3 days. I would practice from like 9 p.m. until 4 in the morning. My family can witness this. People in college, in university can. We have those things we used to call prac box. All you hear, scales and scales. And then I'll go to the studio, start mixing and mastering. The whole 3 days a week, I don't sleep. Today, I don't do that. I mean, I did that for like 5-6 years. Today, I don't do it. But if someone is playing wrong chords, I don't need to pray to hear it. I can just hear it. If you start singing a song, I know how I can re-harmonize a song just like this. Now, to some people might think, wow, that's great. It's not great. I pay the price. So your job is what you were born to do. If it's filming, focus on the film. There's probably a film that you're going to do that will change thousands of lives. If it's writing, write that book. Imagine one book, $10, and it sells for like 5 million people. How much do you get? Do you still need a job? My people are destroyed lack of knowledge, says the Bible. And I'm saying this to you. You want to be a great man, understand how money works. Because knowledge in times, ignorance in times of knowledge like this is a choice. Don't say you didn't know. You're a great man. I believe in you. It's time to rise and shine. Learn how money works. Understand that your work is not your job. For you to start building your work, for you to start becoming who you were born to be, you need to deploy yourself from a job. Now, I'm not telling you to rush the process. You first need to understand. And remember, with the vision must be tasted. There'll be trials and tribulation, but can you hold on to that vision? Can you hold on to that dream? You're a great man.